Hello, my name is Coach Tina Ramsay, and I am the founder of Homeschooling Oils. Yes, formerly known as Late Short Academy Ideas. You will notice on our channel, you will hear reference to the Tina Ramsay Show, Late Short Academy Ideas, and also Homeschooling Oils. You know why? It's because we have some amazing sponsors, and we're one and the same. We focus on business, wellness, and life. On our Homeschooling Oils podcast, we focus on giving you assistance and help in 3 areas: homeschooling, wellness, and life. And also we touch on the experience of homeschooling a child with multiple learning differences such as dyslexia, ADD, ADHD, autism, dyspraxia, and the list goes on. We also tackle the topic of the emotional side of homeschooling and the challenges that it can bring, and how we use essential oils and foods in order to balance those icky little emotions all naturally. We will help you with finding resources, free and inexpensive curriculum, and we also provide coaching for homeschooling parents who are frustrated and need to de-stress and reboot their homeschooling experience. We are so happy that you are here listening to Homeschooling Oils podcast, and make sure to follow us on all social media platforms: Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Homeschooling Oils. And if you would like to be a featured guest to share your homeschooling journey on Homeschooling Oils podcast, go to our email at homeschoolingoils@gmail.com. That's homeschoolingoils@gmail.com, and send us an email saying that you want to be a featured guest. And I forgot to say, we're also going to be featuring some amazing homeschooling parents who are super parents in regards to homeschooling. So welcome to the family at Homeschooling and Oils, the place to be to learn all about homeschooling, wellness, and life. Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? I know you see some different things going on, but I have something amazing for you. So how many of you are homeschooling or anticipating homeschooling, and you really just don't know where to start? For those of you who do not know me, my name is Coach Tina Ramsay, and we're running all over the place. So that's why I have to do an intro for you. For those of you who do not know who I am, we are actually I am in partnership with the Melanated homeschooling group, and where I volunteer and help. And so we're bringing on someone totally amazing. Hello, Felicia Golden Grimes. All right. And we are actually going to bring on one of our amazing featured guests, kicking off our first series of Meet Our Members. Who are our members of the Melanated homeschooling group? We have Sakile in the house, and she is going to be explaining to us how she's actually able to homeschool her children on the road from a world perspective. So we're going to have an amazing time. You know what? We always have so many amazing organizations just coming over and taking over the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast. But without further ado, we're bringing you the best of the best. We're going to go ahead and kick off the Tina Ramsay Show, which is a special edition of the Melanated Homeschooling Support Group, which is where we are introducing you to our members. Welcome to the Tina Ramsay Show and Podcast, a show to motivate you and introduce you to celebrities, authors, singers, coaches, and standout entrepreneurs that are making a positive impact in the world. Men and women coming together to share knowledge, having upbuilding conversations centered around business, wellness, and life. We connect you with some amazing people and opportunities. It's your time to shine, and we help you do that. We love sharing your stories of success and spotlighting you, the entrepreneur. We love to laugh. We love to smile. We love to celebrate you, and we love having fun. So go grab a seat, get a snack, and don't forget your beverage. It's time for you to come share, shine, and grow. Yes, this time for the Tina Ramsay Show. Let's get started with your host, Coach Tina Ramsay. Get ready. We have Sakile in the house, and she is going to be talking to us about world schooling. So melanated homeschoolers, get ready to be inspired if you have a desire to make the world your classroom. And if you haven't registered for our Homeschooling with Excellence event that's taking place October the 22nd through the 24th, free, and it's virtual, go to CoachTinaRamsay.com right now and register for absolutely free. That is CoachTinaRamsay.com and register for free. But get ready, get your snack, get your drink, because it is time for us to introduce you to Sakile. Yes, you're going to bring it home with world schooling, making the world your homeschooling classroom. We'll be with you in a moment. And just like that, we are back. The Tina Ramsay Show and podcast have been officially taken over by the Melanated Homeschooling Support Group. And we have in the building Sakile. And she is going to explain to us all about world schooling and so much more. Do you want to travel? Do you want to learn how to make the world your classroom? Or are you contemplating homeschooling, but you want to do it a different way? Well, Sakile is the way. So let's bring her onto the stage right now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me, Coach Tina. It's definitely an honor and a joy to be here with all your amazing audience members. So thank you.
We're excited to have you because so many people ask me about world schooling, and that is not my area of expertise. I love the concept. I follow world schoolers, but to hear it from you, you're living it, you're breathing it. It's part of who you are, the foundational pieces. So I was like, why should I tell you about something I saw or read when I can bring on someone who's actually doing it? And it's Sakile. So I am just so happy that you're giving us some of your time on today. And when I think about world schooling, what is one thing, Sakile, that you wish you would have known before you started this journey of world schooling?
Yes. So a little bit about me. I consider myself a success at home mom of 6 beautiful children. And then I've been married to my husband for 22 years. And so, in school, I've always been a straight A student, graduated summa cum laude, and even in grad school, maintained a 4.0. And so I was so used to having all my ducks in a row. So it wasn't until, I almost went to the other side, left this world, and had actually a friend who had done everything right. He had, had a wonderful business that was doing well, saved up his money, was retiring early at 55. He and his wife, they bought their dream house on their very first trip after, he retired, because they were going to travel the world, have their actual honeymoon because they got married young. And on his very first trip, he ended up dying of a pulmonary embolism, on the flight. And so his body ended up getting shipped back, and that changed my life. So something that I wish that I knew, before I spent 15 years trying to okay, I have to have this much in my account, and I have to, have this done and no debt, and, everything figured out. Well, at that funeral, I learned that done is better than perfect. Tomorrow's not promised. And, life is for the living. And so at that moment, we started traveling intentionally. We had our first, we call it learncation, as a world schooling. And this was in 2008. So we've been homeschooling for 17 years. We've been world schooling since 2008. And in 2016, we went from 6 months of world schooling to full time. So now we are nomadic. So we just go from place to place to place, really enjoying the culture of an area, the food, the different languages, and really using the world as our classroom, visiting different historical locations, really studying the area, like the science, like what were some science discoveries, or, going to, let's just say, a glass, person that creates vases and glass, taking the children to see it done, or chocolate factories. That's my favorite. I love food.
Oh, me too. You talk to a person who loves food. Yes, Felicia, wonderful learning opportunities. I 1000% agree. And I'm not going to let you just skip on over what you just said, because I don't think people really heard you when you said this point, because you just kind of like went over the top. This is a mother of 6 children. Not 1, not 2, not 3, 6 children, a whole husband, been married, having a successful marriage for 22 years, and she travels. Because many times when we think about travel, we think about, oh my goodness, just for ourselves to travel, that's an undertaking. But you have been able to do this with your beautiful kings and queens, your little prince and princesses, traveling all over the world and making the world your classroom. And many people saying, well, how in the world can you do that? Because when we look at how much it costs, and then you times that by 6 children, times 2 adults, they probably saying, well, she must just have to be rich in order to do this.
Exactly. And that's what I thought, the same exact thing. But when we started world schooling, actually my expenses went down. In Chicago, our expenses were about $6,000 a month, and it dropped to about $2,000 a month. So even though my business was making about $500 a month at the time, it's increased drastically since then. And my husband's was making like maybe 2,000. So we were able to make it work. And so on a master class that we'll be sharing shortly, we'll be sharing some of the ways that we were able to travel really inexpensively, staying at resorts for like $5,000 resorts for $200 a week, without having timeshares, without being a travel agent, without any. So I mean, with all like, that's one of my favorites.
Yes. Okay, Sakile.
Everything's included.
Wow. So someone said, really?
$1,000 a month, right? For your toilet paper, they provide the paper towels, your electricity, they do the cable, activities like skiing and sledding and basketball and volleyball and, horseback riding is all at the resort.
Okay. So what we're going to do,
experiences.
Wow. What we're going to do right now, we're going to take a small commercial break from our sponsors, but we're going to come back and we're going to dig deeper into how Sakile is able to maneuver and able to handle having 6 children, her husband and herself, and be able to travel the world cost effectively and still be able to get the essence and the best of whatever that culture has to offer. Many of us feel like travel, large family, or even a small family, it don't go together with the economy like it is. But they're going to teach you how you can actually do that and see amazing places for a small amount of money. So we're going to have this commercial break, and we'll be back in a moment.
How many of you out there today are trying to figure out whether or not you're going to homeschool your children? And where can you go at to get sound advice on how to do it effectively? Well, we have a solution for you, which is our Homeschooling with Excellence 2 virtual conference event that will be taking place October the 22nd through the 24th. And these are just some of our amazing educators, homeschoolers, and business owners that will be pouring into you through this 3-day event designed to provide a solution to your problem. This is unlike any other homeschooling virtual event that you have ever seen before, because we are going to address the entire homeschooler, which means that we are going to address homeschooling, business, wellness, life, mental health, podcasting, employment, and so much more. So register for your free ticket today.
Great to see you, family. I'm Sakile with Embrace Your Free, and I'm a featured speaker at the Homeschooling with Excellence Conference. And my topic is world schooling. So I will be showing you how to implement travel and experiential learning into your curriculum to help your children retain 90% of what they learn. Plus, it's just downright fun. So register for free at www.coachtinaramsay.com. See you soon.
And just like that, we are back with Sakile. Now, before we went to the commercial break, she was telling us how you can do all these activities. You can have like a family of 6 and just live your best life. So let's go ahead and get back into this, because I'm like, I've been missing out. So tell us about that. Welcome to the show, KJ. Remember, you guys, like, follow, share. Sharing is caring. All right. So Sakile, tell us a little bit about how you're able to, because you took us through a journey before we did our commercial break of how one of your friends and their life really transitioned and made you start really thinking about your purpose and how you want to live intentional. And through that, you started doing intentional traveling, which enabled you to be a world schooler. But you started small, and then all of a sudden you said, well, not all of a sudden, as you gradually went into it, you was like, okay, we're going to do this full on. We're going to live. We're going to get totally immersed in the culture. And now we are no longer world schoolers. We're going to add a step further. We are nomads. We just pick up and we move. So now tell us about how you was able to do all of that with your children, homeschool, because the pictures are absolutely beautiful that I have seen, and I just love it.
Thank you. So, we really believe, the world is our classroom, and there's nothing better than experiential learning, because our children, and even as adults, it's like one thing to hear something, but to actually be there, to see it, smell it, touch it, there's nothing like it. It becomes a part of you. And I noticed that every place that I go to and every place my children goes to, it becomes a part of us. And we're never the same. And people always talk about how our children are so grounded and respectful and kind and thoughtful. It's because they've seen, from, people that were really, really rich to those that had very little. But when it came to their values and principles and community and the love, they had so much. So they've got to see different ranges of the way that people live. And it's really helped them to become these amazing human beings. And so basically, after doing a lot of research and talking to, we actually, when we would go to resorts and things like that, we would meet a lot of like elderly people who retired and learned a lot from them, and then other people. And so we've been doing this for 13 years. So we've been gathering a lot of information. So we basically learned how to travel very, very, very inexpensively. And as we were traveling the world, I'm just like, it's getting lonely on these streets. We created an amazing program to reach back and help other, Black families do the same thing. I've seen families from other groups where I'm just like, our community, it will provide so much value to our families and our children's if they're able to see the world and to see that, a lot of times in America, we feel like the minority, but when you get out in the world, there's so many of us and we're doing so many amazing things. And a lot of things that we're taught in the classroom are just not accurate. We have a very rich history. We're beautiful people. We provide so much to the world. And, the stories that are shown are just a small fraction of who we really are. And so I think just having those experiences have really boosted my children's self-esteem. Like they have so much confidence because they understand who they are. And it's not just what, his story, they're able to create their own story from actual experience. So,
yes.
yeah.
I love that. So with all of that, I love everything that you said, but did you ever have to overcome any challenges as you was doing your world school and different things that you wish that you knew first? So could you give like some advice to ones who want to become like a world schooler like you and your family?
Absolutely. So one of the things is done is better than perfect. I'm going to keep on saying that. Like I'm a perfectionist and I feel like perfectionism now just equals procrastination and self-sabotage. And so like do not, procrastinate. Like get out there and do something. It doesn't have to be big. You just start off small. You can start staycations in your community. Something that a lot of people, I noticed we like travel to different areas and we're going to this museum and this exhibit and this historical event. And people are like, you did what in my neighborhood? I've been living here my whole life and I've never done it. So like my advice is get out there and like really experience your own world, your own community. Like put those like, how when you travel and you're like a tourist, put your tourist goggles on and start seeing, your own community in a different way. And it just starts feeding that hunger where you want to like see more and then expand it, maybe go regional, and then go a little bit further, go to the other side of your country and then, go to another country and just make your, just take baby steps, and before you know it, you'll be there. Now, of course, if you want to do it faster, it's always nice to have coaches. I really believe in having coaches and mentors because they can really shrink your time and really help you avoid a lot of mishaps and just a lot of waste of money and time. So, we're going to share the masterclass where we can actually walk you through things to help you avoid a lot of, the mishaps and stuff. So I really would have wished I had a coach, but I don't think there was anyone that I knew in my environment that was doing what we were doing. So I see it more and more now, which is great. But having a coach, having a mentor, so that you don't have to fall and figure it out all on your own.
I agree. I 1000% agree with you. So, with all of this being said, who I should say are one or two influential people in your life? Because every great person that's doing some amazing things has someone that inspire you or spark that in you. So, do you have like one or two people that you can identify that personally impacted your life?
Absolutely. So one of the people that really impacted me is my grandmother. She, traveled a lot. My parents they traveled in the US. They didn't travel as much, but they did, every year, we would go like somewhere, for a week or two every year. Well, every other year, because one year they would do like a couple vacation and then the other next year it would be a family vacation. So every other year our family would travel somewhere together, and then every other year my parents would travel. So that was like a great experience, but I'm just like, that just wasn't enough. Like I wanted more. Of course. And my grandmother, when she passed, she had visited 49 out of the 50 states. And so we started our 50 state tour in her name because like she used to have like different little magnets on her refrigerator. And we all remember there was 49 and there was one she was missing, but we never figured out like which one it was, because by the time she had, you know, she passed on, the I don't know what she had done with all of the magnets. So my grandmother was definitely an inspiration. And, you know, she visited places in Asia and took a lot of cruises, but she waited until she was in her, you know, 60s and 70s. And I really wanted it to be an experience that I had that when I was young and that I can do with my children. So my grandmother was definitely an inspiration. And then, of course, my friend who transitioned. He definitely was like an amazing man, and he was just like the father in the community where everyone would come to him, and just his story really was that wake up call. You can do everything right, and then you know life happens. So like those two are probably like the big inspirations when it comes to world schooling. You know, getting up and traveling.
Well, with all that being said, I'm pretty sure with you being a world school, you have some amazing books or workshops or courses that you can help us along the way with our world schooling aspirations, whether it's, like you said, staycations within your getting to know your community or getting bold and traveling out. So, do you have any recommendations for us?
Absolutely. So one of the books that really, really helped me starting off was The Big Leap by Gay Hendricks. So a lot of times when we are about to do something new, you know, our ego, our comfort zone comes in. It's like, no, it's scary. And then all these things come in and like self-sabotage us. So it's a lot of people have the desire, but they have a hard time getting out of their comfort zone. You know, they're just like, I don't know anybody who's done that. I've never seen anybody do this. That must be ridiculous. Or they tell people about it and they're like, you're not rich. You can't do that. And so, book like The Big Leap is an amazing book that really helps you take things to the next level. It really shows you where your upper limit is and help you break through that limit so that you can really embrace what your dream is and not get caught up in your comfort zone. So like that is a really amazing book. Another book that was really, really pivotal in my journey is, let me think, there's so many amazing books. I love the Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. It's actually the book that The Secret was based on. And
Oh,
yes, you know that
I
book that she
saw
talked
that.
about
Yeah.
is that book. I have like 3 copies on my shelf. I carry around me like we all have a copy. I have an Audible. I have one book that's just like a workbook.
Mhm.
But that book is really good because the science of getting rich, of course, is wealth and finances, but rich
Mhm.
is also having a rich, abundant life.
Mhm.
So it talks about the mindset you must have, the people you want to have around you
Mhm.
in order to create this lifestyle of whatever it is. They talk about money a lot, but the richness is just having a happy, fulfilling life. Money,
Mhm.
it lets you know that we can have anything we desire, but a lot of people just don't believe and don't feel like they deserve it. So the importance of mindset is so important. So it's just like people just think, oh, I have the money and I'll do it. There's a lot of people that are making 6 figures who still only travel like twice, like 2 weeks a year.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's the excuse? It's usually mindset. So yeah.
Oh, well, I love it. I love it. And I definitely know about The Secret. And anybody who don't know about it, they do have it on Amazon where you can actually watch a bits and pieces of the movie, getting to know some of the directors who actually created everything. So it was a very interesting watch and read. So with all of this being said, anytime something is not what we consider quote unquote, which I hate this, normal, different people have different opinions or misconceptions about it. And world schooling is not something that is on the traditional way of homeschooling, but it should be a normal way of life, right? And so
Absolutely.
what are some misconceptions that you want to just squash right now on the show about world schooling so we can wrap our mind around this concept, because I love it already. So I'm just like, okay, where my RV at? So because I want to travel with an RV. That is my goal in the next
Absolutely.
3 years, to be boom, just everywhere. Just go.
Absolutely. That's definitely a way. And we work with our students on showing them how to do that affordably all over the world too. So, yeah. So one of the misconceptions again is like that it has to cost a lot of money, which is not true. Like I said, our from living in a home and all the expenses to world schooling, our expenses drop $4,000 a month. And we were able to take advantage of amazing, locations and experiences. Because a lot of times when you go to other places, the cost of living is less. And if you have American dollars, a lot of times it stretches so far. So that's the great thing. And there's techniques and ways, as long as you like know what money is coming in and what is going out, and you have access to amazing travel hacks. There is so much that is possible, and then you have the mindset and how to do it. A lot of people are just like, oh, okay, I have the tools, but there's like certain ways that you can do it that are a lot more efficient, a lot less expensive, a lot less stressful. And then there's ways you can do it that are very expensive and very stressful and very time consuming. So, yeah, it's just knowing that it doesn't really have to be that expensive. Also, another myth is that, okay, so rich people, and then that Black people don't do it. I'm like, I have a whole community of Black families that we're working with, that are world schoolers, are in the midst of becoming world schoolers. So there's a lot of Black families that are understanding that there's power in being able to travel the world. There's power in having options. There's power in knowing different languages. So we're really working on taking it to the next level. So not only do we want to travel the world, we also want to have residencies and citizenships and passports all over. So we just got our residency and like driver's license in Mexico. That's where we are right now. And we're working on another residency in another country. So just the ability to move, if nothing showed us, if 2020 did not show us anything, but that now is the time to like see what's out there, what other opportunities and options that you have, where are you treated best? Where do you have the most freedom? Where are places that support your values and principles, But if you never left the country, how would you know that, Yeah. Like, and people think that the US has the most powerful passport in the world. That's not true. There's other countries that have amazing passports, that you can visit other countries that the US can't, for that are, visa free. So having, a US passport and having other passports just opens up so many windows, opportunities, being able to bank in other countries, being able to open businesses in other countries, so.
Well, okay. With all that being said, if you, which I know you do, you want to connect with Sakile, all right, she has this workshop, this mastermind that's going to be taking place. Let me just share the screen so you guys can see this. So if you go to, let me put it up on the screen. If you go to www.embraceyourfree.com/melanated homeschool, you're going to see this page. And what we want you to do is do this. We want you to click that, yes, I want to attend. Why? It's because she is going to be able to explain to you about travel, homeschooling, making money while you're doing it, and how she was actually able to make a good living, even though she has 6 children, and how her and her husband travel the world. Like I said, this is her and her beautiful family. She is a mom of 6, been married for 22 years, and she explains about how you can be a part of this world schooling experience. So if you are ready to go, which I know you are, you go ahead and click, yes, I want to attend. When exactly is this happening? Sakile, tell them the date that they're
Yes.
on this class.
So it will be going on October 11th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And it's free, absolutely free. And we give you so many free bonuses. We even give you the homeschool curriculum that we were able to use, a master plan template where allowed our children to homeschool completely on autopilot. So we share that with you. And you'll be getting bonuses every week. And plus on the masterclass is really a workshop. So by the time you walk away, you will have ways to travel the world with free food and housing. You will know what your homeschooling style is that will, keep you from having the stress and frustration. You will know what your passion moneymaker is. So it's a actual workshop where you walk away with tools that you can absolutely apply immediately to start on your world schooling journey.
Well, listen, you go to www.embraceyourfree.com/melanated homeschool. So if you are a homeschooler and you want to know how you can homeschool and travel the world and do it cost effectively and put your homeschool on pilot, woo, child, autopilot. She done spoke all the love languages of a homeschooler. Autopilot, travel, cost effective, food. Because when you homeschool, Lord have mercy, them kids stay in the refrigerator. So she's speaking all of our love languages on today. Yes. So if you're interested in how you can cut down that grocery bill, you need to go see what she's doing. And we have no excuse. She's making this available for all of us for absolutely free. So go ahead and get into this mastermind class, this workshop, and click yes, I want to attend so that you will be able to be in. It's happening October the 11th at 7:30 p.m. And that's EST, right?
Yes, Eastern Standard Time.
Okay, EST. And she's going to be able to break down and explain to you how she was able to really mastermind traveling the world, making the world her classroom with her family, along with bringing down her expenses. Like, how in the world you have 6 children, 2 adults, you was living in a whole big house, and then all of a sudden you go all the way down to less, and you having so much more in your life. So much more. And so she's going to be able to explain it, because I can't explain it to you. I'm gonna have to be her student, because okay, so she's gonna do it. And what I love about what Sakile is doing is that she's just not reading something from a book or something a course that she went and took, even though that can be amazing, but she's living it. One thing that impresses me is someone who not only took a course or something like that, when they are living and breathing what they are teaching you, then you can't go wrong. Okay. You just can't go wrong. She's living it and she's breathing it. And if you want to do it, which I know you do, you're going to go ahead and click that button. Go ahead and click that button. And let me pop it up again just for the ones who are a little late to the party. The ones that are a little late to the party. That website is www.embraceyourfree.com/melanated homeschool. So Sakile, thank you so much for coming on the show today. And as we wrap up, I want you to give us just a little bit of Sakile wisdom. Share something with us that it don't even have to be about homeschooling. Is there something else you want to share with us just about Sakile, homeschooling, whatever? I don't care. So they can connect with you, because we want our listeners to just gravitate and just start following and connecting with you and everything that you're doing.
Absolutely. So something that I love to talk about is food. I am a foodie. I have been a plant-based vegetarian for 20 years. My anniversary was July. of 2001. So one of my favorite things to do is to eat my way around the world. That is my goal.
I love it.
So we finished our 50 state tour. 50 state tour in the US, and now we're working on a 100-country tour with our families. Yes. So we're really excited about that. And we look forward to also meeting a lot of families as we travel around. So like currently we have a meet up in Mexico in November, in Puerto Rico, San Juan. We'll be in Miami and Houston, and I pronounced it so wrong. Cancun and Isla Majera. My Spanish is not the best. That's another thing. The great thing, speaking about English, is most people in the world, their second language is English. So,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you must be fluent in Mexico. In Spanish. And I'm like, not at all. Not at all. But we make it work with sign language and, the So again, don't be afraid to get out there. I've been all over, and pretty much everyone speaks, some type of English. The only people that gave me a hard time was in France because they're very snobby.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you are not about to mess up or disrespect our language in France. You need to speak French. So, but they understand what you're saying. They might act like you don't, but they'll speak to you too.
Yeah.
If you mess up their language bad enough. So anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Well, listen, we definitely enjoyed having you on the show today. For those of you who don't know what's quite going on with the background and the colors and everything, we have officially had the Melanated Homeschooling Support Group takeover. For those of you who don't know, I was homeschooling before the pandemic was ever a thought. Been homeschooling for 10 years and been volunteering in this community for over 3 years. And I am one of the co-founders of this group. And so right now we're actually introducing all of you to some of our amazing, amazing homeschoolers. And so why is because right now the world is going through a crisis, let's face it. And so with the world going through what it's going through, we wanted to make sure that we actually provide the solution to what you're going through. Okay. And so with this, we're making a special effort with my brand, the Tina Ramsay Show and Podcast, CTR Enterprises, Homeschooling and Oils. And Lord, I can't go through all the names, but we're making a special effort to expose you to all the different varieties of homeschooling, along with our Homeschooling with Excellence 2 event that's taking place this month, October the 22nd through the 24th, which Sakile is one of our expert speakers, and she is going to be going more in depth about world schooling and sharing different things with you on that platform as well. And all of this, what she's providing with her workshop October the 11th, and also the Homeschooling with Excellence 2 event, is all virtual and it's absolutely free. Why did we do this for free? It's because we really want to help impact the world with good, with better. We don't want you to feel like you cannot have access. The number one best commodity other than people is access. And so one thing that people stop you from getting what you need information is by blocking your access. So right now we're opening everything up to you so that you can have access to get the resources, the community, the support that you need to be able to pivot and transition into this new digital era where the world is faced with the question, should I homeschool or shouldn't I homeschool? And if I do decide to homeschool, how in the world should I start? Okay. So now we're providing all of this for you. So make sure to go in and get with Sakile. Make sure to get with Sakile so that you can get in on her event that's October the 11th, and make sure that you go to CoachTinaRamsay.com and get your free tickets to our amazing Homeschooling with 2 Excellence event. And you're actually going to be able to meet and greet with over 25 plus speakers along with Sakile, and check out her business, Embrace Your Free. She said you're free, not her free, you're free. So that you can be able to I'm going to embrace it because I want to travel like nobody's business, but I want to do it in an RV. So that's what I want to do. I want to be an RV world school traveler. All right. And so she's able to help me make that dream a reality. And so she can help you too. So make sure to click that button and go ahead and get registered. And for all of you who are listening all over, we have this airing in so many different places. And I know that you have been asking questions about homeschooling. So make sure to link up with Sakile and also our Homeschooling with Excellence event. So Sakile, any last words that you want to tell our audience about how they can either connect with you or join your movement, your World School movement? Oh, she's freezing up. So just go ahead to our website. And so, as always, this is the Tina Ramsay Show. Oh, wait a minute. I think I hear you. Okay, go ahead. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yeah,
Well, she is out of country. She's in Mexico. So sometimes we have some tech issues in regards to that, but we was able to have an amazing time with today's featured guest, Sakile, and she's in Mexico right now exploring the world of world schooling. And so what I want you to do to make sure to go right here to embraceyourfree.com/melanated homeschool in order to get into her free workshop so that you can understand how you can homeschool cost effectively and travel the world for pennies on a dollar. And if you have a desire, you can probably flip this over to make it a business. I don't know. You're going to have to get into the workshop in order to see it. And I also want to just give a shout out to everyone who has been supporting the show and for all of our sponsors like She Trucking, Melanated Homeschooling Support Group, Nonprofit CEO, and the list goes on and on for those of you who are supporting the show, including celebrities, influencers, educators, business owners from all over the world that are literally supporting us, and our new sponsor, which is WYN, which is a global movement. And right now they're focusing on female wellness in regards to science, engineering, health and wellness, mental health, and so much more. I am their official U.S. American ambassador, just spreading the information, spreading the knowledge so that you can have the resources that you need to live your best life. So in closing, I want you to stay motivated. I want you to know that the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast, we got your back. And this is a special episode where it has been taken over by the Melanated Homeschooling Support Group in order to help you figure out how you want to find yourself in this new world of homeschooling. We will see you with our next interview soon. Talk to you later. To be a featured guest on our show, go to theTinaRamsayShow.com. Come share, shine, and grow on the Tina Ramsay Show and podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode on Homeschooling Oils, the place to be to learn all about homeschooling, wellness, business, and life. We touch on multiple topics in order to help you be well-rounded in the homeschooling experience, and we also help you tackle and control those pesky, icky little emotions, all naturally with giving you information about how to use essential oils. But remember, we are not doctors. We're just simply sharing our experience and what has worked for our family. You can make your own educated decision based upon the information that you receive, because it's done for educational purposes only. And if you would like to be featured on our Homeschooling Oils podcast, just simply email us at homeschoolinganoils@gmail.com. That's homeschoolinganoils@gmail.com. We are happy to say that we are now on Amazon Prime, we are on Amazon Music, and we are on iHeartRadio. So thank you so much for your support and your participation in the growth and the empowerment of this podcast. We look forward to seeing you again, and make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.